Hello, everybody. Elizabeth Johnston here, story and creativity coach, and I'm here with the awesome and amazing Alan Carez. And I met Alan in another program, and I always used to think that your last name was spelt Cares, and then I just thought it was like so because you're a very caring person. And I thought, oh, his name is just like spot on, but it's actually Carez, Alan Carez, which is a lovely way to pronounce it too. So welcome. I'd really love it if you would tell us a little bit about who you are and who you serve, because this is part of the series that I'm doing for the launch of the Story Lounge, but I really love working and meeting visionary entrepreneurs, and you are one of that type of entrepreneur. There's many different flavors, but you really have a vision. And so can you tell us a little bit about what you do and who you serve and what your vision is?
Sure, of course. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for having me in this your space, and I'm so happy to be sharing with all of you. So, like Elizabeth said, my last name can be pronounced differently, so feel free to pronounce it however you feel that is calling your heart to do so. I am Alan Carez, and I am a master engineer, and I envision paths to success for visionary people who who want who also have who also know they have greatness within themselves and want to bring their gifts to the world. And, through my coaching program, Project Imagine, I help them break free from all those limitations, perceived limitations, because we think that there are limitations, but they're not. And to fully embody and embrace their authentic selves and show up to the world empowered, uplifted, aligned with their heart, with their mind, with their soul, and truly give to the world what they really are here for. So this is sort of a way to describe what I do. It's something that you will have to experience yourself to really get a whole grasp of the experience that I'm able to offer you. So.
Well, what I love about what you just described there is you tap into that part of ourselves that already knows that we were and are destined for things greater than perhaps we are allowing into our lives right now. And I think that it makes sense that we need somebody as a catalyst or a guide, or a mentor to help us get into who we really were meant to be. Because I think for a lot of us, we go into our adulthood thinking that I've got to fit in. I've got to, these are the past, these are my expectations, or like I took this in university, so the only thing I can do is that, or I didn't go to university, so the only thing I can do is that, so we have these built-in limitations that are either inherited from society or from our friends or from our family. But I think deep down, we know that there is more than those limitations are providing us with. And so that's why I love what you do. And I also love the title of that you give yourself, Master Imagineer, because engineers are people who build things. And they're very smart about how things tick and how things go together and how they function at their peak. So I love that play on words, combining engineer with imagination and coming up with, your true self in the world.
Yes.
So, so the other thing that I wanted to have you speak to is, how do you feel that story is helping you become the kind of entrepreneur that you want to be?
Oh my goodness, there are so many ways to answer that. To put it into simple description is enabling me to connect with my authentic journey that I have myself lived throughout my life. And I believe that every one of us goes through a journey in our life experience. But we don't really know what it means, really, or we don't really know if it has any value. if the experiences that we have had add any value to other people. And for me, it's enabling me to tap into this authentic, genuine self that I have been throughout my life, because nobody has lived my life. This is something that is personal, and it is helping me to tap into that and bring forward and create an envision for myself. This is really interesting. An envision for myself also, um, what I can bring to people through the experiences, the stories that I have lived and experienced myself throughout this journey, and now bring this added benefit and value to those who I serve. And Project Imagine on its own, it is sort of like the blossoming of this connection to my story. The title Master Imagineer, it is also a an example of the connection that I have developed through my story. It's like I realized that throughout my entire life, I have been doing this one thing that I thought everybody was doing, and they weren't doing it. There are many people who don't have the capability that I have to imagine things and see things in three-dimensional form and shape. So my story is enabling me to feel authentic, to feel empowered, to feel that I have what it takes, that I don't need a master's or doctorate degree in Imagineering. No, I don't need that. I already have it. And that is sort of how I can put into words what story has and is bringing to me.
Lovely. That's a lovely way to describe it. And you're working with me to craft your origin story and your expertise story and other stories that you can use in your business. What has that experience been like for you to really see your stories come to life outside of your brain? Because I know that we carry our stories inside, and it's a different thing to see them on the outside and to see the response from other people in the program, to stories. Has that experience been like for you?
Honestly, it's been so much fun. It's been a lot of fun to put into paper what has been up here all my life, and to see that reflected at me, like, oh wow, I am seeing a different perspective of the stories that I have had in my mind or that I will speak about all the time. And it enhances, it enriches um, everything else that I just spoke about a little bit before. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. And what's it like to uncover those stories and share them with others? Like, what's the experience of being in community and sharing your stories?
Sharing that in community with others, it's is a wonderful opportunity that I'm giving myself to get to know me better.
Mm.
That's I stop there because I see blank. So when I see blank, it means stop and just say that. So it enables me to get to know me better.
Wow, that's so powerful. And I think that is one of the wonderful things about story, is that it is for personal growth and development. You really do get to know yourself in a different way, and are able to see things in your past and line them up to your present, and with that awareness actually create your future in a more intentional way.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, that is perfectly said, Elizabeth. That's exactly that.
So for people watching this, I'm doing this series of interviews with people and entrepreneurs in the story in the entrepreneur, because it's leading into the Story Lounge, which is my new program. And it's a place where you can unearth your stories in community and use them for whatever purpose that you like, whether it's personal growth or to integrate it into your business, maybe your about page, or stories that you share when you're networking. There's, so many applications and purposes, but at the heart of it, it all starts with story. And what would you say that the biggest attraction, like if you were to say to people why they need to spend some time with their stories in community, what would you say to them, Alan?
I will say to them you can love yourself enough, and you can love what you do enough to be in community and share your personal stories, because it is validating to yourself, to what you do and why you do it.
Mm.
That's, if we can look at a key word in there, will be validation.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I would say to people why they need to do this, why they need to join the story.
Totally.
Yeah.
And validation for ourselves, but also I find that stories really help others. A lot of times we carry these stories inside of us and we think, oh, nobody else has that kind of an experience. No one would understand what I've gone through or find any kind of relation with that. And I think that that's part of the validation process, is when you share your story in community and people say, oh my goodness, I get that, I understand that. And all of a sudden, that, I think that's how the community is formed, is through the sharing of stories.
Yes, you get to know others better, you get to know yourself better, you get to recognize and acknowledge the links that bring you together as well.
Mm.
So you create these friendships and connections with others through listening to their stories. Like listening to your story, Elizabeth, I got to know you better. I got to forge a stronger connection with you, and I, I like you even more than I did before I heard your origin story or any of the stories that you will share. And that, I think that creates this something so important that we're missing in today's life,
Yeah.
today's world, which is connection with one another from a place of genuine authenticity and raw, unfiltered. Because we have all these filters on social media as well. We put all these filters out there, but speaking from your heart is what brings the right people to you as well. So you create these lifetime, everlasting friendships with others by getting to know them better with the stories that they share, and that is something beautiful. It's like you are in a meeting with other, networking entrepreneurs or whoever is it that you are, or a party with somebody else and other people, and then you hear the story of something, and then you're like, oh, I know someone that went through this. Oh, I gotta tell you, you have to meet them.
Yes. Yes.
So it creates those connections with each other, and that is what is like the glue that holds the world. Our stories, our connections through story.
That's beautiful. And I love the way that you express that, when we know each other better through our stories, then we're better able to connect and direct people to those who can help them, which is different than a lot of other kind of networking events where it's really just, here's my card, give me referrals, and we kind of don't even know them. We know what they do, but who are they? So I think that's a really good point that you bring up. And I want to thank you so much for the time that you've taken today. I really enjoyed speaking with you. And I love the way that you express the importance of story in your life and in your business. So thanks so much for being with us today, Alan.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Elizabeth. I love having these conversations that are meaningful, insightful, and add value to people. So thank you for this. And I look forward to maybe a future event with you.
Yeah, that would be awesome. All righty. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Bye now. Have a great day.